I came back from the end and I realized that A, my son was going to want an Electra as well. B, that means that I have to go back to the end. And with that, I need tons of rockets. That's why I decided to build a sugarcane farm and a creeper farm, but I didn't want them to just be out and about. I wanted to make them just aesthetically pleasing, and that is what we're going to do in this episode. Before I get started, please don't forget to subscribe and like the video and share it with anyone who loves Minecraft as much as we do. Let's go. The first step was gathering all the resources, and oh my gosh, having shulker boxes is so amazing. It makes it so much easier than before. But I realized that I didn't have all the materials, so I went down to my stone quarry to mine the blocks that were missing. So I cut the palette like I've been having it, pink with oak and stone. And inside, that is where I'm hiding the farm. It's probably the first farm I ever built, and it's pretty straightforward. You can also use the same farm for bamboo, and it works the same way. But I am so happy because I'm on the way to getting rockets and going back to the end, which is the part that I'm not looking forward to. I am using Litomatica and with it the Easy Place, which is something I just started using because I didn't know how to use it before. And I'm going to tell you, it makes it so much easier. At first, I thought it would make it too easy, but I don't know how everybody else feels, but I feel like now the most hardest parts to do in a build is the designing, the creating, making sure you got the right color palette, and the resource gathering. This is one small portion of everything that I do when I'm trying to think of what builds to make. Because even though the builds probably look like other ones you've done, I try to have my own builds and I look at like reference images and try to like emulate it and feel like that part is probably the hardest part. So even though I'm using Easy Place, I'm going to tell you that is one small portion of everything that is involved when you're trying to build something in Minecraft or in real life. My dogs. I keep forgetting to sit them down because this is exactly what happens every time I'm trying to build something. They pick the worst spot to be and then makes me think that I'm crazy. And then when I look, it's because they're in there chilling. And then I went back to the house to get concrete, and I have vanilla tweaks for mud and concrete. What you do is that you just go to a cauldron, drop a stack of concrete and mud, and then you wait, and then you voila, everything is done for you. And that is a personal choice, not my favorite thing to do. And I play Minecraft to enjoy myself and not gonna do stuff that I don't enjoy doing, and those are two things that I hate. The other thing that I also got vanilla tweaks for was to get double shulker shells because the end and I do not mix, and so I don't want to go back there unless I need to, which is unfortunate that I have to do it because I have to get my son an Electra, but after that, I'm done. I finally was able to put the finishing touches on the house, which obviously were flowers, and then I removed all the blocks that I had, and oh my god, I love it so much. It's so cute and quaint, but when you go inside, it is powering on and getting me paper and sugar for rockets and potions. And then, what is this villager? How in the world did this villager get stuck in the house? So I went all around trying to figure out how I was going to get him out, and I could not figure it out. And then I had to break the block to try to see if I could entice him to get out. And it always baffles me how these villagers get into situations that they should not be in. And then he was refusing to get out, and I finally had to push him out. He finally got the hint, and then he left. Before heading to work on the creeper tower, I decided to take a break and do a little fishing. For some reason, fishing in Minecraft just relaxes me. All of a sudden, it's like I can never relax in peace. I turn around and I see this wandering trader coming out of nowhere, just trekking with his llamas in the water. Like he was so obsessed with getting the sail that he could not even let me have some peace fishing. He had to come and try to work and get a sail in the water. I've never seen that before, but it was just beyond rude. It was rude until I noticed that he had the flowers, the blue orchids that I did not have yet. So I went, gave him a water bucket because I have a bunch of those, and got me some of those orchids, which I was very happy about. Then I went back to breeding cats because I want to have a 3 level creeper tower. And with that, I need 12 cats. So I just went ahead and started breeding as many as I could. And then started thinking, how am I going to do this? I don't want to do it through water, even though it's pretty close. So I decided that I needed another mechanism to get these cats to the tower. While I waited, I did what I do best. I'll give you 3 guesses what I was doing. I decided to call it a day and went back home to go sleep because that happy gas was not trying to grow. So I just decided, might as well just go home and take a nap. I came outside and guess that happy gas was sick and tired of me waiting around because there he was. And look how cute he is. All smiling, excited to see me, just as excited as I am to see him. I put him on a leash so I wouldn't have to worry about where he was. And I then got a little nervous because I was like, if he grows, will he get stuck and, suffocate? So I fed him some snowballs and he didn't grow. And decided that just to play it safe, I need to move him somewhere where I don't have to worry about that. And I think it might be the fresh animation resource pack, but look at this little happy gas and the way he's flying. Look at that. What in the world? I thought that was like the funniest thing. And there he is, all grown up. I put his harness, I made it lime green because I don't know, I like the lime green, and decided that he can hang out here while I went to the area that I was going to put the creeper tower and built it, and then I'll bring him over with the cats. before heading to the location because I'm building it in the middle of the ocean. Don't want to keep coming back and forth. I went down to the stone quarry to gather all the materials before heading that way. I knew exactly where I was going to have it because when I was looking for the stronghold, I found this area that was just ocean, and I thought that this would be good for a creeper tower because then I wouldn't have to worry about the mob spawn cap, I guess that's what it's called. And I thought that this was a great location. And here you can see that I already have it marked. Okay, so this is going to be a time lapse because it took me like 4 days to get this done. Even though I did this in creative, it still took me forever to get it done. I changed the design. At first, I was going to do just stone, but then I decided that I really wanted to be dark and gloomy. And so I decided to change it to deep slate and tough. And I think that it actually worked out better. But here is the platform where I'm going to have the hoppers and the chests. On to the next level, I left a hole where you see the hoppers. There, I'm going to put soul campfires, but not now, so I don't burn myself when I'm trying to get things done. And then I put some fences down and then put waters in the corner. And what happens is when the creepers drop, the water forces them down and then they burn in the campfires. The next area was where the creepers spawn and where I'll put the cats. And then you put carpet down so no spiders spawn because you have the trap doors. So it's 2 levels and that blocks the zombies and the skeletons from spawning. But before I built the other 2 levels, I wanted to get the cats. And so I went, grabbed my happy ghast, and went to go get the cats that I had bred. And I knew that I would have to do it when I got there, but at least I could tie the ones I had to the ghast and then head there. And happy ghast are very slow, even though it's very fun to ride them. So I'm gonna spare you having to see this in real time and speed it up a little bit. And here's the build. Put the soul campfires down, and then it is 3 levels. It's mainly deep slate, but I added a bit of tough just to break it out a little bit and give it a little bit more texture. I then used black candles and end rods. One of the frustrating thing is that the librarian now sells candles, All my librarians sell red and yellow candles. No variety. I don't know if you all seen that, but that really frustrated me. But anyway, so after that, I had to build the AFK area. And of course, I could have just built a box, but I wanted to make it pretty. So I decided to go in and make my first hot air balloon. And then back to the end to get my son his Electra and get more end rods. And this is going to be quick because, yeah, the end. That's all I have to say. But I got an Electra, also got backups, went to my Enderman farm, got a bunch of XP, and then I headed home. Let's go check out the builds and see how the farms are doing before we finish. But here is the sugarcane farm. I love it. It is so nice. I still have to figure out like what I'm gonna do here, but I did change the retaining wall a little bit. Instead of full blocks, I now have slabs. I feel like it looks better because I had to redo it now that I had this build. But you go inside, here's my sugarcane farm, and look at that, looking good. And then if we head in this direction, we fly south. And here is my creeper tower with my AFK. Oh my God, it looks so nice. I'm probably gonna stay here for a little bit to get a bunch of gunpowder. And probably nothing really has really happened because I was not close by. But yep, I grabbed it. So that was like what I grabbed last time, which was the 64 and the 14. And then I'm gonna go up. Okay. Oh, I always forget to bring flowers. Oh well, next time. And then I got a sit function on the server so I could sit down while I AFK. But that will be it for today. Please subscribe if you like this, and I'll see you next time. Take care.